What's going on, guys? This is Lior and welcome back to my channel. Now in this video, what I thought I would do is give you my top 3 neighborhoods around Boston that I think are the best for buying rental property if you're thinking about doing that. So I'm gonna give you my top 3 choices, and if you stick to the very end, I'm also gonna give you one other bonus area to check out. So make sure you stay tuned. And with that, let's get at it. Before I get into those top 3 areas that I think are best for rental property investing, 2 super quick things. If this is your first time on my channel, number 1, welcome to the channel. And second of all, please subscribe to the channel. I put out tons of new videos every single week talking about all aspects of Boston lifestyle, cities, neighborhoods, and everything you need to know. And the second thing, guys, is if you're thinking about doing anything with real estate, whether it's buying, selling, investing, I still get blown away with how many of you guys reach out to me. So if you're thinking about making a move here or doing something with real estate, make sure you hit up me and my team, and we will definitely help you out. Now, what I thought I would do, as I said, is give you guys the top 3 neighborhoods that I think are the best for rental property investing. Now, instead of doing this typically as I do in my house, I thought we would actually hit the streets and show you what it looks like, right? Because sometimes you just gotta see it in order to for it really make sense. I'm one of those guys, and I think it's gonna help you a lot. So we're gonna start with number 3, which is where we're standing right now, is Revere. And I'm standing right in front of the ocean, right? This is probably one of the most prime areas of Revere. You can see right here, we've got apartment buildings going up, there's cranes behind me, there's construction going on. I am super high on Revere, especially the coastal part. The coastal part is developing at an insanely rapid pace. As I said, you've got a ton of luxury construction. I'm seeing new projects getting permitted and approved, cranes going up. There's a lot of younger people going into this area, and you can see that the area is just totally beautiful. You know, you got the ocean, you got some green space, and there's just a lot going on here. Now, this is not the only part of Revere that's happening, right? You may have heard about Suffolk Downs, which is the biggest project approval in Boston's history. It is right on the border of East Boston and Revere. It's gonna consist of over 10 million square feet of development, over 10,000 residential units. It's gonna have hotels, retail, research, commercial. Like literally it's gonna be a little mini city, right? So that's all happening within Revere. So between Suffolk Downs, the insane development that's happening here, you also have, of course, the Blue Line T-stops, right? You've got the Blue Line going right to Revere, right into Boston. There is just so much going on here that I am super high on Revere, and that's why I have it as my number 3 on the list. All right, so number 2 on our list is the city of Everett, only about 10-15 minutes away from Revere, where we just were. And Everett, the reason it's on my map as a really great market is it's been very aggressively changing and developing. The mayor in the city has been very aggressive in terms of bringing more development in play. So there's a lot of development projects going on right now. As you can see, there's a massive project right behind me. Of course, if you guys have heard of Everett, you probably know that it's famous for the casino that came in a couple of years ago. But since then, a lot more has been happening, right? A lot more residential development has been going on. One of the first big apartment complexes, the Pioneer on Revere Beach Boulevard, was a 280 unit apartment project that actually just got sold by the developer. So, you know, there's a lot of new luxury product coming on. There's some really big mega projects. There's actually a skyscraper that just got preliminarily approved by the city. So it's not only the development which makes this market so great, the city's also investing a ton in infrastructure, right? So if you may have heard, Everett is trying to extend the Silver Line into the city, which of course will make in and out transportation a lot easier. They're also just talking right now about doing a footbridge from Assembly in Somerville across the water into where Encore is, right, into Everett. So there's a lot of infrastructure projects going on. So combine the infrastructure with the development. That's why I think this market is going to be really ripe, especially moving forward the next 3 to 5 years. And I think it's going to be a great rental market. And just to highlight some of the active projects that are standing behind me, this is of course a very big one, as you can see. This is the 600 on Broadway. It's like about a 70-80 unit project. That's going to be luxury apartments. It's going to be awesome. It's going to have rooftop terrace, amenities. It's going to have retail on the bottom. So there is some major dough being plowed into Everett right now. Again, this is why I think it's going to be an awesome rental market to be invested in. A lot of people are moving in. A lot of younger professionals, younger families are starting to move in here. And I think it's going to continue to grow over the next couple of years. for our final city I'm gonna highlight in this list, number one, we are in Malden, Mass. So right next to Everett, also very close to Revere. Now, the reason I really like Malden, there's a couple. First of all, Malden already has the Orange Line going through it, right? So you already have the Malden Center T-stop as well as the Oak Grove T-stop. So very kind of similar to Revere in a sense where the T's already going through. So that's obviously amazing, especially from a rental property perspective, right? Tenants have really good access in the city. The other thing I really like about Malden too is if you can kind of sense it when you walk, it's just a really established market, right? I mean, you've got a nice mixture of single family, some condos. You've got some areas that are very quiet like this, like they're very residential, which obviously for tenants is really desirable, right? Because you know, there's not a lot of noise, not a lot of heavy traffic. So I think that's a huge, huge amenity, especially if you compare it to, you know, maybe other areas like Everett, Revere. Some of them can be a little bit more congested, a little bit noisier. That's a big thing why I really like Malden. The other thing too is Malden is certainly growing as well. The Malden Central Development Project brought in a lot of brand new luxury apartments, a lot of retail. You've got a lot of young professionals living in that area. I know a couple of friends that personally live there and they absolutely love it. Malden has also invested in some infrastructure. They did build a brand new city hall. There's a new police station. So again, a lot of money pouring into the development from a residential perspective as well as city infrastructure. Plus then you have these kinds of neighborhoods which just make it, you know, kind of gives it the edge, right? Gives it a nice little market feel where you might not necessarily get from something that's a little closer to Boston, that's got a little bit more of a city and noisier feel. So that's the reason Malden is number one on my list. So that was our top 3 list. Now, in the beginning, I did say I would give one other bonus area that I wanted to highlight, and that's gonna be Dorchester Roxbury. Now, we didn't go drive down there because technically it's south of the city, so it's a little bit of a different pocket, but definitely keep your eye out on Dorchester Roxbury. Those areas are changing drastically as well. Tons of development, tons of money being poured into those areas from a residential perspective, commercial perspective. Of course, they already have some transportation options as well. Dorchester has the Red Line going through it. Roxbury has parts of it going through the Orange Line. So both of those markets are absolutely still on top of my list. I thought I would just throw them as a little bonus addition. Again, it's a little further away from Malden, Everett, and Revere. It's kind of a different part of Boston. But if you're gonna be looking and on the hunt for rental property, still definitely keep those 2 areas in mind. So that's my little extra quick tip for you guys for watching to the end of the video. Of course, if you have any questions about any of this, if you're not sure where to go, what's the best fit for you, you know, make sure you put something in the comments below or hit me up directly and I will definitely help you